Hello to all my new members in the High Ticket Coaching community. Armin Shafee here, the founder of highticketcoaching.com. And I'm streaming this from my new setup. I'm using my iPhone 13 Pro Max to film this. Let me know how it looks. And if it looks great, I'm excited to keep using this as I move forward. Got my whole place behind me right here, living in Miami. And so in today's video, I actually wanted to talk about, what I've learned from spending 200 grand in cash to join some of the top masterminds in the industry. And I'll name who they are. I'll name the goods and their bads, and pretty much my recommendation for whether you should do the same. So I love everyone I'm going to talk about, and I kind of want to share. I'm a scientist, right? So what I do is I like to take my money, see what, and put it into things, and like a scientist, break down the process and understanding what's the X factors, what's not. So I look at everything like data, like a scientist, and then I come to my own conclusion. I put it into my offers and my programs. I just found this better because I noticed most people in the industry were like me years ago when I started. And for me, it was kind of tough because, business is like an alphabet, right? Like if you want to be a great writer, you have to learn how to use every letter in the alphabet to actually do a great job with writing. Now, if I took a vowel out like O from the alphabet, it automatically is impossible to be a great writer, because now the whole English language doesn't work. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at a business, there's so many different variables, so many letters in the alphabet, that if you don't master and understand and actually use it in the process of building your business, it all doesn't work. Like you'll hit a bottleneck every time, you'll hit a barrier every time. So I thought, what should I do? I have the privilege of making a decent amount of money from what I'm doing. And I'm like, well, instead of spending on, just random shit, like lifestyle and all these things, and or saving my money, investing it to make more money, which is no end point to that. Just becoming wealthier is about improving skill sets and intelligence, not just about having interest or passive income, So I'm like, well, what can I do that can help my clients more? So what I did is I took all my money that I would make and I would go and buy every program, competitors program, every mastermind, everything I can to learn what's working best in the industry. And then I would take it, simplify it, make it easy to understand. And because one of my skills are communication, I can articulate it better than the person teaching. And I put it into my offers. I put it into my mastermind. I put it into my Scaling a Clients program. And so what I'm about to share with you is kind of my summary of where I've gone. It's going to be really quick because I have a meeting in like 10 minutes. So this will be a quick video for you, but summary of whose I bought, what I got from it, and do I think you should do it or not? So we'll start off with just naming who I invested in. I paid about 200 grand. That's in Canadian dollars for me. It's like 150,000, over 150,000 US. So I bought Dan Henry's, was the first mastermind I joined. That was about 2 years ago. Then I bought, I totally forgot about Traffic and Funnels. I bought their mastermind. I joined their elite, their mastermind. So I bought Dan Henry's Traffic and Funnels. So it's actually more than 200. It's like 240 now. So about 180 Canadian, USD. So I bought Dan Henry's Traffic and Funnels. I've joined Bastiaan Slott's mastermind. I joined Russel Brunson's last year. And recently this year, I joined Sam Ovens. It's about 5 masterminds, averaging between 30 to 40 grand per mastermind. So here's what I learned, good and bad. And by bad, I just mean like what I didn't get and what I got. Does that make sense, guys? So I'll share with you, and you can make your own conclusions based off it. So with Dan's, it was the first mastermind I joined, and the major reason I joined is for normalization. I wanted to start making 6 figures per month, and I wanted to be around people that are doing that. And so his mastermind had people making 100, 200, 300,000 a month. And for me, what I got from it is belief, because I realized I can do it if they can do it. And second one, he's incredible at 2 things I noticed. What I would learn, because it's really just access to Dan. It wasn't a mastermind. Like we didn't actually learn from each other. Everyone was just kind of like in this advanced group coaching program with him. And that was what my experience of his was. And he's brilliant at marketing, and he's brilliant at simplifying things. So the biggest things I took from working in his mastermind was learning the pretty much the art of digital marketing. Like he's really good at the ads game, the email game, the webinar game. Like he's really good at that stuff. And the second thing was how to take things that are complex and simplify and teach it in analogies so that so that people can understand it better. That was one of the biggest things I got from that. And so I've kind of modeled my simplicity around seeing how well he does it. He's really good. I like it. And he's brilliant in marketing. So he comes up with really cool angles or strategies for how to make more money in the business. So what I got from that was that what I didn't get from that was really personalized access to him, which I was hoping to get when I paid for it, and connection to a network. And so we kind of had to build our own network amongst each other, which we did. We would meet like ourselves on a Zoom call every single other week or something like that. And so the events, I never went to an in-person, I went to the virtual ones, and it was really just Q&A with him for 2 days straight. Like that was the events. And the weekly calls he gave as well was really powerful. So the questions were good. It was high level stuff. I got belief, but I didn't get really masterminding, which is us being able to talk about our businesses with each other and give each other ideas, which is what a real mastermind is. And I'll talk about which one I joined that I see was like that. So that was a good one. Do I recommend it now? I don't think I want to give my opinion on these things. More so, I just want to say like, it was worth my money when I bought it then. Okay. It's a different price now. It's more. It was worth my money for what I needed then. And within about 4 to 5, 6 months, I kind of didn't need it anymore. So, because it was just access to learning more from Dan. Second one was traffic funnels. Unfortunately, I got to say, like, out of all 5 I've joined, he closed it now anyways. Yeah, I know he closed it because he didn't really want to do it. You know what I mean? So we kind of felt that halfway through the mastermind. We all just stopped wanting to be there too. That's kind of what happened there. But that's a personal thing, and he's great at what he does, and I respect him for it. And it was good for my money. I got my money's worth from it. Unfortunately, the one with traffic funnels, I didn't get much from it. And so what I did do is go through all their content, and their content was good. I didn't, full disclaimer, I didn't dive into all the recordings and all the good stuff. So maybe there's gold in there I didn't get, but I did go through their entire program that they sell for 10K because I get it during the mastermind. And I learned maybe 3 things, I think, organically that actually for a short period of time was useful, but then it stopped. And so we don't even do those things anymore. And that's pretty much it. Like, that was also 30 grand for us. I don't know how much it is now, but I joined early. I went to one event, and the event, we only had an hour and a half with them at the event, and it's for Q&A with them, and then they left. So it was kind of weird. We just had a bunch of random other speakers that came. For me, that wasn't worth my money. But a lot of people make a lot of money there. So I probably failed to use it the best way possible, but the way I went about the experience, I wouldn't join again. Let's just say that. But I got a few things and a few cool people. In the network, they were strong though. So in content or in training or in access that I didn't get, that I feel like I got from Dan, I did get in network. So there's a few people I met there that actually I'm friends with and I know in Miami. So maybe that turns into something one day. So that's traffic funnels. The third one was Bastiaan's. Bastiaan is a beast. Let me tell you something. He's a beast. And so his rate of growth, I was very intrigued by. I'm like, let me join to see what he's doing. And Bastiaan did introduce me to the concept of promotion cycles and organic promotion cycles and the Facebook group, streamlining it to make it into a book call machine. Now, unfortunately, today, we book 80% of our calls outside our Facebook group. Our strategy is more around viral organic marketing as it is to what I learned from him a year ago, but it was super powerful. And so what he did, what I got really well from his mastermind, again, it was a lot of training content infrastructure. So the setter I have now is actually from Bastiaan. And so he gives his clients setters, which is pretty cool. So what I got from him was like people, and he's here today with me still. I had other ones that came and kind of dropped off, but that's the game. And second, give me infrastructure. So what I didn't do before last year was operational infrastructure. And it's something I'm really good at now. And he inspired me by it because I saw how he runs things. I'm like, man, there's a lot of structure I don't have. So he gave us a lot of help around that, like building structure and knowing the team who should be doing what. And at the time I did join, there was no mastermind. In fact, there was no coaching calls. There was nothing. It was just more one-on-one with him and his team. Now I think he does a weekly mastermind. And that I've only been on one, so I can't talk about that. But again, in training and content and in value and infrastructure, I got was good. What I didn't get was the networking and the people back then. So that's my thing. That's a good investment. Like that was a good investment. Dan's was good. TNF, leave it at that. And then Bastiaan's was good. Like we got our money's worth again. We made 80 grand in a week just from a promotion cycle that we learned from him. And I didn't know what that was before I met him. And infrastructure as well. And he introduced me to all that. So it was really good. And he does go above and beyond his team. And they're just awesome. So that was a good investment. That was about 30,000, but I paid him 5 grand more. I kind of tipped him because they did so well. I'm like, hey, here's an extra 5 grand. I don't know who does that, but I did that. So I was about 35 there for us, but I think it's 50 now. I'm not sure. Fourth mastermind was Russel's. So the last two I've joined recently is Russel's and Sam Robbins. And Russel's, they give you no training. They give you no content. They don't even give you access to Russell other than the events. And there's no calls. There's literally, I can book one call, I think, per month with like 2 people on a team. And it's for sales and the other person is for like psychology. So it's not a service-based mastermind offer, whereas all the other ones kind of were. This one, though, makes up for all of that in network. So what was really cool about Russel's that I love the most is I really did feel like it's for once a real mastermind. The other ones felt more like elite coaching programs. They're like advanced because they give us help for things we needed. Whereas Russel's was like, you're really sitting in a room with a bunch of millionaires that have all done great things and are all brilliant. So that was a $50,000 investment. And I think you get 2 events in 12 months to go actually mastermind with the inner circle members. And then there's 2 other events you could join, but that's like for him and you guys and the coaching clients. The next one's this week, and I decided not to go because I'm focused on things in my business. So I missed half of the investment, but I did get my money's worth from that as well because I really did start making friends with a lot of cool people. So it's like partnerships I'm like kind of working on now, and I actually have a few people I'm working with now from that mastermind. That one paid for itself. That was really cool, and I did get to ask Russell some questions directly. So you do get into his world as close as you can get versus his next level is 150 grand, I think. And you do get access to really cool people. So that was a really good investment because I met a lot of great people. So I'll leave it at that. Like, that's really good. Would I renew again? I'll find out like at the end of the 12 months. I'm leaning towards yes, because I want access to the cool people and like still meeting and getting ideas and stuff like that. Like we did shared a lot of ideas. That was a real mastermind. Those are the closest thing to a mastermind based on out of the last 4 I'm talking about. So that's that one. So I do recommend it. If you guys actually want to meet cool people that are 7-figure earners or 8-figure earners, and like you want to mastermind with like intelligent people that are coming up with cool ideas in the marketplace, Russell's is where I would start. Like it's a great investment for people in networking and ideas. So I got a lot of plugs there now. I got a lot of hookups. Last one is Sam Mullins. I just came out of it. I was in LA doing his 3-day mastermind. I got to tell you something. Out of the 5 masterminds I've joined, Sam's the only real mastermind, if I'm going to compare it. Okay, his is the only real mastermind. And the reason why I say that is because there was no bells or whistles, no performance, no stages. There was no gimmicks, nothing. You don't even get training or content. You get his up level, which is his program really where it breaks down how to build a whole $1 million business in detail. But his 3 days I spent with him, not only did I get one-on-one, very close and intimate access to Sam. Like I remember every day after the 6 p.m. or whatever we finished until like 11 at night, midnight, we were all hanging around with each other and with Sam, just shooting the shit, asking questions, masterminding, discussing things, going over ideas. I'm picking his brain. I asked him like 1 million questions that week. And that was really cool. Like that's what I feel like we all hope we get with the owner of a company when we join the mastermind. And his was the first one I actually felt like I got that, included with the networking with other people that are like that. His mastermind isn't only filled with millionaires though, whereas Russell's is. So I looked at the network version versus comparison. And Russell has more higher level people there, whereas his is kind of mixed with higher level and 6-figure earners as well. So there's still people making less than 100 grand a month there. So that was really cool. But not only that, even the structure of the event was powerful because we sat in a mastermind structure and it was super raw, just transparent. He would come up, he would bring up a topic, he would explain it, and people could just ask questions out of nowhere, interrupt each other, which is what real masterminding is like. And so I would stop and like, wait, but what about this, Sam? And Sam would like this. And then someone else would like, well, we did this. And then we'd all just start talking. And it was just like this flowed, like we're all dialed in. We were in a real mastermind. Even with Russell's, we didn't get that because it was more performance-based. There's more bells and whistles. There's a stage, there's music, there's guest speakers. His was the realest, rawest mastermind I've ever paid for. And I think it was about 36. And so for me, I'm probably going to renew in Sam's 100, like more than all the 5 that I've joined. Sam's, I know for a fact I'm probably going to renew every year. For the price and for what you get and for how real and authentic and valuable it is, it's a no-brainer. With Russell's, you got to kind of pull out to the value. Like you have to know how to pull out the value. Because if you don't know how to use the network, you won't get your money's worth. And for the other 3, again, they're not really masterminds. They were more so elite coaching programs. Because I feel like the other 3, like, I guess it kind of looks like they haven't been a part of masterminds that are like Sam's, like real ones, to know what that feeling is like, that environment. But Sam knows how to create that environment. And I honestly, I respect that because that's what I do in my mastermind. So we have a mastermind. It's called Elite 7-Figure Leadership. And what I've done is taken all the good from all these different 5 I've taken and put it into mine to make it the ultimate mastermind in the industry. And for me, it's like, even if you join any one of these masterminds or someone else's, having ours on the panel with it is going to just make that mastermind experience better. Because in our program, when you come in our mastermind, we not only have 4 events a year where it's very much like Sam's, where it's no bells or whistles, there's no gimmicks, it's all raw, real masterminding, We do hot seats one by one. By the way, none of the other 5 do that. None of them do hot seats. And in mine, we actually put each person up on stage in front of the room, and they go over their business, and we all just focus on their business and we help them, which is how Russell used to run Inner Circle. But now he charges 150 grand for that in Atlas. So I just want to make that clear. He used to do that. And I got that idea from one of his OG Inner Circle members by being there. That's why I'm saying the network is cool, but I pulled that out of that. Not everyone, that person wasn't giving it to everyone, but I asked. And so now I run my mastermind the way he used to run the best mastermind in the industry, in my belief. And so we do hot seats, and then we do serious access to me. Like we spend until 2 a.m. We might be together, and people are asking me questions in my mastermind, and we're hanging out. It's a very intimate, real relationship. And so the investment for that is 36 grand for mine as well. And we really do go deep. Like in the last mastermind, we came up with their people's offers, with their differentiating methods or new opportunities. We figured that out with them. We gave them systems for how to scale on YouTube organic, how to scale on TikTok, how to scale like with ads, how to scale with organic and promo cycles. Like everyone kind of really mastermind, which is what the closest thing I felt to that was in Sam's. So that's why I respect him, obviously biased because it's the most like mine. But on top of that, where Sam, and I feel like where Sam not dropped the ball, but doesn't have, and Russell doesn't have, is great masterminding and real networking, like people without training. So in mine, what we did is we built out an entire elaborate training on how to build out the infrastructure and the marketing strategy for a $1 to $10 million company. So not only do my clients in the mastermind get that effect, that real raw mastermind energy, but they also get a step-by-step training and access, by the way, to my team and myself on Slack and their own private channels. So it's like one-on-one coaching with my team. You got a weekly call with me, weekly call with the president of Think Rich, and the actual mastermind event. But they get an entire training on exactly how to build out the foundations of a 7-figure business, how to build up a team, a sales team, an operational team, how to build out your finance system so you can manage your money better, and all the infrastructure around your company. So, for me, I took $240,000 worth of investments into masterminds. I'm not even talking about coaching programs. And I made the pinnacle of it in my elite. And my elite is all about that. If you're interested in that, you could always comment below elite, or you can DM me and I can send you some info. We have a website, you can check it out. But that's kind of my experiences after spending over $200,000 into masterminds and attending them, going to them. That's my verdict, for each of them, like whether I thought it was good or not. I think they were all good for something because my mind is trained to only find the good in it. And so the only one that was hard to find the good in it was the traffic and funnels one. I'm just being honest. I'm staying in my truth. It was hard for me to justify the investment or even the quality of what I was getting. But still from that, I got some people that I met, and they're cool people, and they might turn into something one day, right? And I also, the biggest thing I got from theirs was I doubled my price after I came out because I realized how their quality of product versus my quality of product was incomparable, and they charged twice my price. So when I came out of that, I doubled my price, and I've never, I just kept selling at a higher price. So that was a big breakthrough ad, but it was not because they taught me, it's because I looked at that and I'm like, why am I charging low? I do so much more than this. And the second one was they made me value organic because they were doing 20 million a year and they were doing organic. And I'm like, organic is for people that work, it's not a real business. So they changed my belief system. Again, that's because I got that from them. I'm like, okay, I got it. And a lot of people could have gone there and not got that. So that's my verdict on the 5 different masterminds I've joined, who they were, the cost I paid at that time. Was it worth it based on the good I got out of it and what I felt like wasn't there? And then my ultimate conclusion too is make sure you join a mastermind first where it's real. It's not just a program like Russell's not a real mastermind, because the real mastermind is priceless. Like you can get one idea that changes your business and 10x's it, but you can't get that unless the owner of that mastermind knows how to facilitate the energy of the room to reach that level. And the only one that's done that is Sam's, where Sam really did get out of the way. It wasn't about him. It was about all of us. And so there were people making millions of dollars a month in that mastermind, and we got to pick their brains and learn from them. A lot of decisions were made based off that environment. So Dan Henry, Traffic and Funnels, Bastiaan Slot, Russell Brunson, and Sam Ovens. Sam's, I know for a fact I will renew. Russell's is more over 50% renew. The other ones, probably not, only because they were more of a means to an end. And that's how they structured it. Whereas it's not like you want to keep coming back. It's more like you come to get something. When you get it, you're done. And Russell's and Sam's were more about it's not about getting something and you're done. It's more about you're part of something now. And it's everlasting. And I've structured my mastermind the same way, where it's like you're always going to get more. There's not like you're finished. And so that's like a membership for life. And our goal is obviously everyone makes so much money and get so much value that they always renew. So that's my verdict on $200,000 in Mastermind. Hopefully it's helpful to you. And if you're watching this, obviously you could always follow us, subscribe, send me a PM, and we could always talk. I've gone through a lot, and my entire mission has been in this industry to take everything I've learned, put it into one place, and give it the best absolute thing, the summarized, simplified, easy to understand, and only the best in the industry to each client. And so that's my training for the day. Love you guys lots. Go on and make the rest of your week the best of your week.